Hey everybody! So today I thought I would try my first YouTube live video, and I'm not sure how it's going to go because I have a really slow internet connection, so I am using my cellular on my phone. So we'll just have to play this by ear and see how it goes. Hey guys, thanks for joining. So I thought we would do a Q&A video today as well as a baby bunny update. There are 10 baby bunnies here. We have Cora's litter, which they are the smaller babies, and they're about 3.5 weeks old. And then we have Hazel's babies, which are about 4.5 weeks old, so they're about a week older and a little bit bigger. And they're just so cute. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them and I will try to figure out how this works. And if you're wondering about colors, I will go ahead and go through the various colors that we have. And hopefully you can see. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Okay. So this one, all right, let me see. Can we see it? This is a little Charlie chestnut. I call this one Kippers. And Charlie, because it has less than 10% color, there's just a little bit of color back here. And if you're wondering about genders, I really don't scrutinize that until closer to maybe 6-7 weeks. It's just so hard to tell because everything is so small down there. So I haven't really looked yet. There's a couple I peeked at and I have hunches, but I'm not going to say with certainty yet. So that was a Charlie chestnut. And then this one is the solid chestnut. I can't tell if you can see this. Hopefully you can see that. So we have the solid chestnut, Hazel's. This one I call Tater because he or she is just so fat and round like a potato. So that's Tater, and then that was Kippers. And then Hazel's other babies, she has 2 broken chinchillas, which are the same color as she is. And then she has a solid chinchilla. This is probably my favorite of her litter. Hopefully you guys can see that. This one is probably, I would say, one of the most curious of the 5. Will beg for oats very well. And then I will just quickly go over Cora's babies. They are all dilute colors, which they are the blue hues. They carry 2 double dilute genes. So the dad is Earl Grey, whom I no longer have with me. He's living the pampered lifestyle out on the East Coast. So these are his babies with Cora. The solid blue, which I know solid blue is not a rare color at all, but I just really like it. So solid blue, there's the broken Opal. Just the light gray color and has some tan in it too. She has a broken blue hiding over here. So this is the little broken blue. Broken Opal. Got that. We saw the blue. There's a cream in here somewhere. Where's the little cream? So this is the same color as Cora. I really like this color too. That's the little solid cream. Is that all of them? Oh no, the broken blue tort. This one. Broken blue tort, which is a really cute color too. So many different colors. Hey, sweethearts. All right, let's get to questions. All right, how do I find, oh, I can scroll back through. Okay, I'm scrolling back through the chat, trying to get to the camera back here. Okay, let's go to the beginning of the questions here. Somebody is asking, Allison says, I have an unspayed female rabbit that has been very aggressive. What should I do? Well, the simple answer, Allison, is to get your rabbit spayed. Unless you're breeding her, if you want her as a nice family pet, I definitely recommend spaying and neutering, especially because the females can become aggressive and territorial. Even the males can. The males more so will tend to mount everything and they can spray and they just have one thing on their mind all the time. But females can get aggressive, not all, but definitely spaying. Spaying really would help, and sometimes it takes, I would say, 4, 5, 6 weeks after spaying for the hormones to subside. So give it some time after that. Okay, going back through. Is the video quality okay on this, guys? It looks good for me, but like I said, I'm using cellular. Which adult bunny is my favorite? Gosh, I can't pick favorites. Now, I would say for bucks, I really like Timmy. For those of you who don't know, he is a broken black. Okay, you say it's fine, thank you. And for the females, it's tough. My friendliest females are Anna and Cora. But I don't have any aggressive females. They let me pet them. They're just not as interested as Anna and Cora is getting attention. Both Anna and Cora are very outgoing. And the boys are all outgoing. I have 4 of them right now. And I need to retire Anna eventually. I'm just dragging my feet because I like her so much. These guys are so cute. All right, back to the questions. Do I sell them to good homes? Yes. I only have a handful of litters per year because right now I think I only have 5 does. Let me just count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and Anna is no longer breeding. So I only have 4 does that I'm breeding right now. I don't have many litters. So the few babies I do have, I sell most of them, and I have a waiting list, and you do have to apply to become on the waiting list. And I try my best to find families who have done their research and they understand the commitment. The commitment can be 10 years for a rabbit, and you need to have a rabbit savvy veterinarian available to you, and you need to educate yourself about things like GI stasis, which that's probably the most common ailment in rabbits. So I really do my best to place them with well-educated homes and families. And a lot of the families wait for many months to get a rabbit, and that gives them plenty of time to make certain that this is the decision that they want. So it is a big commitment, and I do not want my rabbits ending up in shelters. So I try my best not to breed overly excessively and find them good homes. This is the most babies I have had at one time for a long time. Both of these moms are false dwarf does, which means they have no copies of the dwarf gene. They are larger girls, and they tend to have larger litters, and there are no peanuts, so there are no bunnies with 2 dwarf genes that won't survive. So these guys either have no dwarf gene, and they'll be a little bit larger, false dwarfs, or they have 1 dwarf gene. So they tend to have larger litters, and they've both been great moms. So I've got a lot of babies right now, but I don't have any other does pregnant. So once these guys are gone, it'll be a while before I have more babies. All right, back to the questions. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm missing some of these questions. I'm trying my best to scroll back through. Have you ever thought about breeding any other breeds besides Holland Lops? No, because I really like Hollands. They are the smallest of the Lop breed, and I just fell in love with them. And I don't have any more room. I don't want an excessively large herd that I can't take care of. I can't spend time with them. You know, throughout the days when it's nice, I rotate them outside and make sure every bunny has outside time each day. So I don't want more than, right now I have 9, and I really don't want more than 12. It just gets too difficult. And if I worked on more than one breed with only 12, that would not give me much variety. So I just stay with Hollands. I really like them. Okay, going back through. And if you have any questions about how to apply for the waiting list, how much I sell them for, things like that, you can go on my website, ohiohollandlops.com, and take a look. I have tons of information, and please do your best to educate yourself. There's a bunny climbing. Hello. Before you even think about getting a bunny. You know, it is, like I said, it's not an easy pet like a cat. They take a lot of attention. I spend at least an hour in the morning and then another half hour in the evening taking care of all of mine, as well as time throughout the day making sure they get exercise. Okay, scrolling down. Keep Anna as a pet. Yeah, I thought about keeping Anna and Timmy as pets, and Timmy I might, but at the same time I have a home tentatively lined up for Anna. Somebody who has one of her sons neutered, and she really would like Anna, and I feel selfish keeping Anna when she has a good home to go to, so I need to eventually let her go. for a free roaming bunny, how do I get him to stop biting everything? Yeah, that's a tough one. First of all, give them plenty of things to chew on. Cardboard boxes, toys like this. You can get apple sticks that have not been sprayed with pesticides. The same with willow. If they have things they can chew on, it does help, but you will have to basically baby-proof your home. You have to, those low-hanging cords are the worst. Baseboards, I know that can be tough. I have heard of people using packing tape, clear packing tape, and putting that on like furniture legs, and that tends to dissuade the bunnies. I'm sorry, there's a lawnmower in the background. I hope you can still hear me. So yeah, tape and finding things that they can chew on. They love cardboard. They love to shred the cardboard. All right. I do not ship my bunnies. I'm sorry. I used to ship them throughout the U.S. and then United Airlines stopped allowing rabbits in their pet cargo program. So, and really, it was tough on the babies. You take a baby who I wean them for at least a week, but still you have this young baby, you send them on an airplane. It's very stressful for them, especially because the airlines, almost every time I had an issue. Whether it be they had to postpone the flight because there was no air conditioning in the cargo hold, or the bunny got misrouted, or the connecting flight was late. It was tough. So I just do local pickups only. I'm sorry. Okay. How much exercise do I give them? On a nice day like today, it's low 70s. I try to let them out for 1 to 2 hours. Any longer than that, and they just seem bored and tired. They just lie down. So right around 1 to 2 hours, that seems to be the magic number where they really like it. Otherwise, I do have a pen inside my bunny barn that I can take turns letting them in. And they have really large houses. Almost all of them have 2-story bunny condos too. And again, I'm sorry if I've missed your question. Feel free to ask it again, because I have a really tiny area on my screen where I'm looking at them. What kind of hay? I have severe allergies to certain kinds of hay, but I've been wanting a bunny. Try orchard grass. All right, let's see. I don't know if you can see this. Can we see this? Okay, you can see that. So I have some orchard grass. Actually, that's all orchard grass in there with some clover. I have some Small Pet Select orchard grass, the orchard medley. It does have some alfalfa in it. I don't know if that's problematic for you, but you can just buy straight orchard grass. Not all bunnies will eat it. Your bunny might go on strike. They might not like it, but I found that give them fewer pellets and they usually will come around to eating the hay. But try orchard grass. You can also some places you can buy hay cubes, so it's compressed, so there is very little dust, and that might be better for people with allergies too. This here is a second cutting orchard medley from Small Pet Select and a second cutting from a local farm. I have 2 different kinds mixed in. The local farm has the clover. Okay, can you see that? That's clover, and that's like bunny crack. My adults especially, they just gobble this up, and they don't eat all of the grasses. I think there's some fescue in here that they don't like, but if you can find a local hay that your bunny likes, it is so much cheaper than buying online. So I don't mind if they waste it and our goats eat the rest of it. So hopefully that answered that question. Okay. Do bunnies have to be bathed regularly? This is a question I have gotten several times from people. And no, don't bathe your bunny. Now there are some exceptions. So if your bunny has like a poop clog on its butt, then you would want to clean that off, but never, never, never dip your bunny in a tub of water. What I do, like I just did with this guy over here, and it's not uncommon from like 4 to 5 week old bunnies when they're switching from mostly their mother's milk to solids, they can get some poop clogs. So where is he? Oh yeah, little Kipper's had some this morning. So what I do is I just hold the bunny gently under some warm running water and just wash its bottom. If you have somebody to help you, you can get like a little shallow dish of warm water and basically like a sponge bath, but you're just blotting the areas and gently rinsing it with water. You don't want to get them wet because they're a prey animal. They get easily stressed. They could easily break their back. So that's definitely not something you want to do, not to mention they would get cold. So they do a pretty good job of cleaning themselves. Very rarely do adults need help. And if your bunny is having a lot of issues with poop clogs, that might be an indication that you need to evaluate what you're feeding your bunny, talk to a vet. There might be an issue to be addressed. Okay, here. How do I give my bunny an injection for bugs? Tamara asks. Are you meaning like regularly worming, or do you have something that your vet wanted you to inject? I have done subcutaneous injections with prescriptions from the vet, and that's no fun. My husband helps me. I hate it. But if you're wondering about general worming, if you let your bunny outside to play, you need to pay attention to their poop. You might see something called pinworms, and I know it sounds really gross, and they look really gross when you see them. They're like little teeny tiny white worms, and that's not uncommon. If you let your rabbit play outside, most likely you will see it at some point. But that's easily treated with, you can get Safeguard goat wormer. I use Safeguard. It makes a product called Equibits, and they're little pellets, and I treat with that. But you can also ask your vet for something too. Okay, let's see what else. What are my favorite coat patterns? Yeah, the Charlies are cute. I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite. I do like this solid blue. I really like that solid blue. That solid blue and chinchilla. I guess I like solids the best. But at one point, when I first began, I had a lot of solids, and then I really liked broken. So I guess the grass is always greener on the other side, right? I don't know. Like Timmy is a broken black, and he has some really cool patterns on his head. I like that too. I don't know. I can't pick, honestly. These guys, you see how they're all eating this? This is a willow tunnel. I think I got on Amazon, and they're chewing it. So you give them something they can chew. Lots of hay, boxes, sticks, wood toys like that, then they oftentimes will leave other things alone. Not in all cases. How do you tell the difference between Opal and Blue Otter? Yeah, you know, I've only ever had one otter, so I am not overly experienced in it. They do have a lot of similarities. It might be best to go on one website that I refer a lot of people to when they're asking about colors is a website called GB Farm. I think it's for Green Barn Farm, gbfarm.com. And they have many pages about colors of Holland Lops. And they have a whole page on otters and agoutis for opals. That's a tough one. I had one instance where I had to tell Opal and Otter, and I really struggled. And it came down to, I used the genetics. I knew the genetics of the parents. And I do believe that there is more tan at the base of the neck of an otter. And I could be wrong. But I think it's going to have to do with the amount of tan, because they both have the eye circles. That an Opal would have the agouti markings, and the otter has the otter markings, the eye circles, the nose. So it's tough. I know none of mine are otter because I know none of my rabbits carry otter. I had one bunny who carried otter, and that made things tough. So I'm not much help on that. Sorry. Do I have any torts? I have a blue tort. But I do not have any black torts. I think because that is probably the most common color of bunny. Like, I get so many emails, what color is my bunny? And like 80% of the time it's a black tort or a broken black tort. I just really like the agouti colors the best, but I do have Anna is a blue tort. She's a broken blue tort, and I really like that color too. And Tater is about to escape. Tater, no, you stay in here. Okay, do I keep rabbits as house pets? I used to have a house rabbit, and what happened was I was spending so much time with the other bunnies that she kind of got neglected, so I moved her out with the other bunnies. This was years ago. Tater, you gotta stay in. Come on. So I don't have a house rabbit. If I ever did retire my herd and I had no other bunnies in my bunny barn, I would probably have a bunny like Timmy inside, get him neutered, and yeah, that would be fun. But I just think I have too many obligations with my other bunnies to give my house rabbit enough attention. I have 2 cats inside, and that's enough. Is this my first time live? Yes, it is. My Wi-Fi connection, we have like 3 megs. It's super slow, so I can't. But we now have unlimited on our cellular plan, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. So I'm sorry if this is terrible. So yeah, thanks for joining, guys. Hope you all are having a great Memorial Day. We spent the morning, my kids' 4-H group put flowers on the graves of the local veterans, and we went to a ceremony, and then I've been home playing with the bunnies, and it took me about a half hour. I used a little weed trimmer to trim the grass inside all the pens, and that took forever too. So that's what I've been doing. And then I just decided to give this live video thing a whirl. Okay. Oh. Okay. Are you guys still here? Did the video just shut off? It shut off when I went to Instagram, didn't it? Okay. Okay. Did the video shut off when I went to Instagram? Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Okay, so I have no idea how to get all the Q&As. People ask questions on Instagram, so I'm sorry if you asked a question on Instagram. I don't know how to get to it, but keep my YouTube video live here. I'm only working on one phone here. So anyhow, the question on Instagram that I did happen to see was about how do I make an adult bunny more cuddly? And my response was, number 1, spaying and neutering. That helps usually significantly because hormones play such a huge factor in whether your bunny will just be mellow and slow down and let you pet them. And don't expect a lap bunny. You know, they're not like cats. Some bunnies do tolerate being held in your lap, but not all of them. So did you see that binky? That was a really, really crazy binky. I need a laptop to do anything else. Yeah, I don't have one. My kids do. I'm old school. I just retired my flip phone a few years ago, if that tells you anything. But my other suggestion with a new bunny, or if you have a bunny that you want to bond with, is find a small area like this, or a small room, somewhere. Sit, you know, watch TV, read a book, watch a movie, and just sit near your bunny and let your bunny come to you. And when your bunny does come to you, reward him or her with gentle pets and soothing words and maybe a treat. And that definitely helps to encourage your bunny to interact with you more and help your bunny realize that you are not a threat. Okay, more questions. See if I can get to them. Where did my chat go? I will get better with this. Bear with me, guys. Okay. Should I be scared for my bunny when it doesn't have the injection when flying around mosquitoes? I wasn't aware of an injection to give rabbits to deal with mosquitoes. I don't leave my bunnies outside in the evening or when the mosquitoes are out. I've never had an issue with it. There is a risk of biting flies. I think it's the bot fly that lays its eggs, and you can have that happen and have to have your bunny have the bot fly larva cut out of it. I've heard of that happening once to somebody that had one of my bunnies. Knock on wood, I've never had it happen, but that doesn't mean it won't. The little cream guy escaped. I've been holding it. Here you go. There you go. The cream's probably one of my favorites. The cream and the blue. Could I get a Holland Lop female to bond with my Netherland dwarf male? Well, possibly. The problem with bonding and people wanting to get pairs of rabbits is you need to be prepared for possibly having to house them separately. Bonding can be quick. You could take, a couple weeks, or it can take many, many months. And if you're not willing to be diligent and put in the time, and if you don't have a lot of patience, then bonding rabbits might not be for you. Like I said, you just don't know how it's going to work out. But always make sure they're spayed and neutered. Sometimes if you have two sibling females, that they can live together without being spayed, but more oftentimes than not, once the hormones come into play around 6 months or so, they don't want to share a space. They can get aggressive with each other. But I have a blog article on my website and tips and tricks about bonding that customers who have bonded rabbits have shared with me. So you can go and find that on ohioislandlops.com. Okay, where'd the chat go? Why does the chat keep hiding on my screen? Okay. Can something happen to my bunny if a mosquito bites him? Well, I assume the risks are similar to us. I've never heard of the mosquitoes causing problems in rabbits. That will be a good question for your rabbit savvy veterinarian, I guess. Okay. I wish you could see this little cream rabbit is asleep in my lap. Well, maybe not asleep, but it's just lying down in my lap. Okay, let's see. See if you can see. Yep, I do have shorts on, I promise. It looks like I don't, but I do. Okay, I'll set the camera back down. Okay, what else? Oh, give Camilla and Timmy kisses for me. Thank you, I will. Okay, put this one back. I'm waiting for the first bunny to have an accident. So far they've been really good. I will have to tell you that most times, right when the rabbits get out of the nest box, so right around 3 to 4 weeks, there's about a week where it takes to litter train the bunnies. And I don't want to jinx myself, but Hazel's babies have never ever had a urine accident in the cage. I mean, poop is a work in progress, that's expected. But Hazel's babies have never had a urine accident. And watch, they probably will now. So I don't know if Hazel's cleaned it up or if she just has really trained them well. You know, they babies smell their mom's urine. Look at this guy. This guy keeps getting out. So I'll hold that one. Okay. Oh, wait. Do I have to clip my bunny's nails? Yes. Well, I would recommend it unless your rabbit is on like concrete or stone where they're going to stay trimmed, then yes. You will know when your rabbit needs its nails trimmed because it will scratch you. These guys have little teeny tiny sharp like razor-like nails, but they're so tiny it's so hard to trim. So I don't usually trim them until closer to 6-8 weeks. Oh my goodness, look how cute this one is. Oh my goodness. Here, wait, come here. Show them how cute you are. Oh, now you went down. This one's gonna try to get back out again. So those of you who just got here, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you bearing with my my newness to this whole live video thing and trying to see my screen at the same time. And then we have the lawnmower in the background. My rabbit won't stop dragging her litter box around. How do I stop her? You have the same litter box as I do, and she tips it over. Well, the litter boxes I have, the Ware Jumbo Scatterless, they have clips that attach it to the side of the cage. Pastel, do you have it attached to the side of the cage? If not, I highly advise finding a way to attach your litter box to whatever enclosure your rabbit stays in most of the time. Or if that doesn't work, find a bigger litter box. A lot of people like using cat-sized litter boxes, something heavier. Knock on wood, again, knock on wood. I don't have problems with my rabbits flipping the litter boxes. They stay attached most of the time. Let me aim this up here. Oh, I can't. Okay, there we go. Okay. How do you deal with aggressive rabbits? I think I answered that, but I will say again, spaying and neutering helps a lot. The only time I've ever had aggressive rabbits, I used to have a couple does that were aggressive, and yeah, it was a hormone thing because they were fine when they were younger and then they became very territorial. So spaying and neutering, I've had a lot of customers tell me the same thing, that not only does it help aggression, but spaying and neutering helps the desire for them to mark their territory with their poop and pee. So okay, what else? which of the rabbits is the most active? Of the babies? I don't know. They're all so active. I don't think I could pick just one. They're all so sweet and curious and active. And oh, this guy's trying to get up. They're all very eager for attention, and I hold them every day. Oh, see, it's a little too tall for you yet. That's why you're over here. I needed another wall. And if you're wondering where I got this playpen, the wire part actually belongs to a different playpen, and it only works when they're babies. But I did get at Petco. I have one that's taller, and then this is the mat that goes with it, which is a really nice little exercise pen. It is very small. It would not be a good place to keep your rabbit all the time. But it works for the babies. Okay. Let's see what else. Any other questions? Favorite bunny age? Yeah. I would say 3 to 4 weeks in Holland is the cutest. So Cora's babies, who are 3.5 weeks, this is my favorite age. So this size right here. And these guys are still cute at 4.5 weeks. There really isn't, you know, a huge size difference. And then this is one of Hazel's babies. So this is one of the older ones. But she's, he or she is smaller. Might be a true dwarf. The chinchilla, I love that solid chinchilla color. Hello. They think I'm gonna feed them. So the 4.5-week-old babies, they know how to beg for oats already. And these guys are just learning. Cora's babies, they just are nibbling on hay and pellets. Okay, I just got an Instagram question. Someone who needs help identifying coat colors. I get that question all the time, and you know, I'm so busy anyhow, so it's hard. If you want to know what color your rabbit is, first of all, black tort is a good possibility. So you can Google black tort rabbit. But also, like I said before, the website GB Farm, I think, or GB Farms. Google GB Farm. I think it's for Green Barn Farm. GB Farm. They have a color matrix that has the dozens and dozens and dozens of possible colors for Hollands. And they have pictures for many of them. They have pictures for agouti colors like chestnut and chinchilla. And then they have the wideband colors like cream and orange. And the shaded, like sable point is a very common one too. And then the blacks, the blues, the blue torts, the black torts. There are so many colors. And if your bunnies are broken, that makes it even harder to tell. So unless you know the genetics, the genotype of the parents, it does make it difficult. Especially in people who send me these pictures that are really small and poor quality, poor lighting. And it's so hard to tell. Google it. Go to the GB Farms website. I have a color chart on my website too, though mine is not as comprehensive as the one on GB Farm. Okay, let me find the chat. Where'd the chat go? Okay, hang on. Okay, here we go. Yes, there's a sable point Holland. It's very common. Some sable points are actually seal points. They're a little bit smuttier. They have a little bit more gray coloring in them. But sable point is a common color. I used to have a sable point doe, and she just was so tiny it made it hard for her to have babies. So I've only ever had one, I believe. My favorite bunny color is otter gray. Maybe you mean blue otter. There's blue otter, there's black otter, there's chocolate and lilac. For every color of Holland Lop, there's a black version, there's a blue version, there's a chocolate version, and a lilac version. So the lilac is the dilute of chocolate. I don't work with chocolate Hollands. I mostly work with agouti. I work with, so let me explain that further. So let's say I have an orange Holland Lop. That is the black-based version of the orange color. And then you dilute that. The blue-based version is cream, which is this one over here. Yep. And then there's a chocolate-based version and a lilac-based version, which I don't work with those. So, and then you have chinchilla, and then there's the blue. You can have blue chinchilla, which is a squirrel, And then there's chocolate chinchilla. Yeah, so it's complicated. Okay, my buck is a breeding buck, yet he constantly wants to breed. Any tips on calming him down other than neutering? Yeah, Rihanna, there isn't much you can do other than, and I have tried it a few times, if you can find a stuffed animal that is about the size of a rabbit and give it to your buck who is not neutered, they many times will mount that and get a lot of their frustration out. It's really funny to see. I used to have a stuffed Pikachu and I had a buck that would just go to town on it. But other than that, no, you really got to get your rabbit neutered if you want to fix that behavior. My bucks they're pretty crazy. They're nice, but they're very crazy, and that's obviously the only thing they have on their mind. What age do I wean my rabbits? How do I decide which rabbits to keep? Well, I like to wean them beginning around 7 to 7.5 to 8 weeks. It just depends on how they're doing. If, like on these larger litters, like where I have 5, Cora and Hazel, what I probably will do is I will take the bucks away one day, maybe like at 7 weeks and 3 days of age. And then I will give the mom a couple days with just the does, just to kind of wean her milk supply out, just so she doesn't get an infection of any sort. And you want her milk supply to taper off slowly so it's easier on her. So then I might take the does away at 7.5 to 8 weeks. That's just how I do it. And sometimes I do just take the mom away and leave them in their same environment. If I can, I will do that. Or I have the double cages. I have the K and W cages, the Bunny Villa, I have the 2-story, and so I often will just put the mom on the top level and then the baby's on the other level. So that's usually how I do it. But if I had some babies that were smaller, I would leave them with the mom longer. I do not let my babies go earlier than 8 weeks, and it's often more like 9 or 10 weeks. I just like to make sure that they're definitely doing well. I get so many emails from people saying, help, I have a bunny I just got from a breeder. They said it was 8 weeks, but I find out it's more like 6 weeks. What do I do? Well, the risk of taking a bunny away early, especially it probably wasn't even weaned properly, is they can get stress-induced illness like enteritis. You can see diarrhea, and diarrhea in a bunny is an emergency. So I tell these people, have a rabbit savvy vet, get some advice from them, have a contingency plan if your bunny does develop diarrhea. Having a good quality feed, like I feed Sherwood, they're on the baby formula right now, and I switch them. Any bunnies that I'm keeping, I switch like right around 12 weeks. So having a good quality food, lots of hay, even a few raw oats can help if their stool does get a little bit loose but isn't diarrhea. And how do I decide what I keep? Well, I no longer show. I used to show. I didn't like it. I don't like exposing my rabbits to other rabbits. It was really gross. They all sit on the same carpet, and I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy the experience. Wasn't a lot of positive behavior on the part of everyone who participated. So I just didn't find it fun. So I do try to keep the best of the best for my herd to keep to improve the breed. So what I would look for at around 8 weeks of age, you can start to tell which ones have the best qualities for breeding purposes. Like this one has those nice fat, can you see? Nice Tater here has nice fat round ears. It doesn't want to sit with me. Wider heads. Some of these have narrower heads, and that wouldn't be as good of quality for breeding. So that's what I look at. And I also look at genetics and what would mesh well with the bucks that I have and the does that I have. So that's what I take into consideration. Plus color. I do have some colors that I like better than others. Okay, what fruits do I feed my bunnies? And this is another thing I think is important for people to know. When you get a baby bunny, they really can't handle treats until closer to 5 or 6 months of age. The only treats I would give a baby bunny would be a couple pinches of raw oats, not the quick cook kind, just the old-fashioned oats. I feed an organic thick cut oat. And it's usually okay to give them like a thumb size, I tell people like a thumb size piece of a leafy green, whether it be romaine or kale, or they love parsley, cilantro, things like that. You can give them that. And if you see mushy poop, you know to slow down and stop, but don't give them fruits. But I would slowly over time gradually increase the greens if you would like. But if you see mushy poop, you know to slow down or stop. But for the adults, I do occasionally give them like a quarter size piece of banana or a little piece of carrot. But fruits are so tough for bunnies because of the sugar. Maybe a blueberry or two. In the summer when we get some cherries, I'll pick the cherries and give them maybe part of a cherry. Some of them don't like fruits a whole lot and some do. And I have a couple rabbits who have more sensitive digestive systems than others, and I stick with the greens for them. Who are the parents? If you weren't with me at the beginning of the video, these are Cora's babies with Earl Grey, and Hazel's babies with Timmy. Timmy's my buddy. Hazel's nice too. Oops. Okay. How much is it to neuter your rabbits? And that's something I make sure people know before they get on my waiting list. Spaying and neutering, it depends on the area you live, but on average, from what I've heard, it's anywhere from $300 to $500. And that seems excessive, but if this is going to be your house pet, possibly for 10 years, it is a worthy investment. So you don't have to deal with the hormones. It helps with litter training. But I have heard some like animal shelters that are experienced with rabbit spaying and neutering, they sometimes will do it for, you might get it for $200 or less, but it is not cheap. My rabbit is constantly making grunting noises whenever I go into her territory. That's usually a hormonal thing I have found, mostly with the bucks, like they want to breed. You hear this like buzzing sound, but sometimes the does will do it too, and I do think that's a hormonal sound. I'm guessing your bunny isn't spayed. There are rescues that would do it for $80 though. That is a really, really good price. My only caution is make sure that whomever is doing your rabbit spaying and neutering, that they have significant experience with rabbits. From what I have heard, it's the anesthesia. And I had a vet tell me this, that she was on it. She said, look, anesthesia can be tricky with rabbits. They're very sensitive. They're prey animals. They're delicate. And sometimes deaths do happen, even with experienced vets. But the best thing you can do is find a vet who has experience with rabbit spays and neuters, not just something that occasionally they do. So it's okay to ask questions to your vet about that. Do you see this little blue is sound asleep in the litter box? Look at that. See if I can put this down here now. All right, we'll move the camera. Michigan vet school is amazing. Oh yeah, veterinary schools. I never thought about that. If you're lucky to live in an area that has something like that. All right, I'm gonna put the camera in here and see how it does. We were watching my live chat from England. Hey, cheerio. I don't know what else they say in England. So thanks for joining us. Yeah, thank you, everybody. How would I start up my own rabbitry? And I do get that question a lot too. And I am not encouraging anyone to do that unless you have seriously done your homework. I try to explain to people, there is not money in it. Even if you sell the babies for a decent price, unless you breed at crazy high levels and feed really cheap food, there is really not much money in it. I honestly, the bulk of my minimal income that I get from rabbits is from YouTube and from, I have some links on my website to products I use that you can purchase on Amazon. So that's where the bulk of my money comes from. So I don't recommend starting a rabbitry unless you have the funds for it and you go into it with expectation that it's a hobby that you probably aren't going to make money on, and you have to do it because you really love it and you love rabbits. It's a lot of work too. The worst part is I can't go on vacation unless I can find somebody to take care of all of my rabbits. So I don't really go on vacation, and it's every morning. Even if I want to sleep in, just sit and read the newspaper or browse YouTube or the internet, I can't, because I have these guys to take care of. So it's a huge sacrifice. So I definitely tell people to think about that. If you like to go on vacations, if you like your relaxation in the morning, it's not a good time. Look at this. All right, I gotta see who this is. Who is that? There's so many in here. Oh, hello. All right, I'm gonna put the camera back up here. It's sleepy time for them right now. Okay. Oh, sorry. Somebody just came in the house and they're getting scared. We're gonna wrap it up here. So please show my face. Oh gosh. All right. I'll say hi to you really quickly. I am not prepared to be on camera. All right. I can't even tell if I'm on screen. Hey, it's me. I'm Diane, Queen Bunny Lady. Hopefully you could see me. Okay. Let's see. Oh, thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate it. What's my favorite rabbit breed? Well, I have to say Holland Lops. I'm really not familiar with other breeds. I had a lion head mixed with a Netherland dwarf once. He had really cool, like the lion head partial mane that he had going on, so that was cute, but I really like Hollands. And I haven't really gotten to know any other breeds, so I can't really answer that, I guess. The baby bunnies, you can see, they played hard and then they tired out very quickly. So that's quite normal. And they like to sleep in heaps. What I do, so right around, they start hopping out of the nest box right around 3 weeks of age, usually. And some people clean the nest box and give them new hay and straw. But what I have found is once you clean the nest box out, it smells different and they don't like to go back in. So what I do right around 3 weeks of age when they start hopping out, and Cora's babies, I just did it this past week, I take their nest box out because it does get, so they pee in it and Cora can't, the mom can't clean up the urine. They do clean the urine from the babies, but they can't get it all. So what I do is I get either a fleece mat or a fleece pillow, and then I put a little, like we find boxes whenever we go shopping, like at Costco or our other wholesale club here. I get little boxes, like little Duracell battery boxes, and they're perfect. It's like a little cave, and I put it on top of the pillow or fleece so they can still go in there and feel protected, but it's clean and I can keep it clean. So that's what I do. Okay, any other questions before we wrap it up here? I understand that not everybody agrees with rabbit breeding or any pet breeding. You're certainly entitled to your opinion. I'm very careful with the homes that I send these to, and I provide an excessive amount of education for the families who do adopt, and I have tons of research and facts about owning a rabbit on my website, and I do not sugarcoat it at all for people who are interested in bunnies, that the commitment that they are making. So again, I understand that other people have opinions like that. You're certainly entitled to them. I will leave it at that. Would I ever start breeding mini Rex? No. Like I said before, not working with anything other than Hollands. I have downsized over the past year or so, and I don't want any more work than I already have. Like I said, I want it manageable. I want to be able to interact with my bunnies and help them to be social. And I feel that having any larger herd than I currently have, I wouldn't be able to do that. I have the solid floor cages, the double stories, and I have to vacuum them every morning and clean out the hay. And if they have any accidents, clean that up, and I clean the litter boxes and then the water. So I don't want any more than I currently have, really. I want to keep it there. All right, let me find the chat again. Where's the chat? Oh, here we go. How big did they get? I have a video on how big is a Holland Lop, but the Cliff Notes version is that a true dwarf Holland Lop will be right around 4 pounds. And if you have a false dwarf Holland Lop who doesn't have the dwarf gene, more like 5 pounds. A false dwarf doe can be a little bit over that too. So 4 to 5 pounds usually. Can I make another update soon? Like a summer bunny update? I might. Definitely. It's a lot of work to make videos other than live ones like this. And I'm busy with the bunnies, and I have kids. So it's a lot of work. Yep, I just breed Holland Lops. I just got some bunnies. What tips would you suggest? Go to my website. I have lots of bunny care information, facts and tips about bunnies. Do you see that little chinchilla in the litter box? No. You two are funny. They're funny. These guys are zonked out. Okay. What do I use for the bottom of the playpen? This is from Petco. I got I think it's like a 20-inch high pen, indoor pen, because they can hop over if they want to. This pen is really short. I can only use it for babies. I think it's made for ferrets, actually. I got this on Amazon, and it came with a green bottom. That one that's over there. But this one's a little bit larger. So I got it from Petco. Good. You can look at Petco. They have several different sizes and different heights. And it works well for a playpen. And look, no urine. I mean, there's some poop down here, and there's hay, because they make a mess. But I don't know if they either are holding it or they've used the litter box. But they're really doing well litter training. And the poop is a work in progress until spaying or neutering. And that's another thing. If you want an indoor rabbit, you're just going to have to deal with the poo balls. And rabbit poop, actually, it's really not gross. Most rabbit poop is really dry. I know that sounds gross. We're talking about poop here. But most rabbit poop is really dry. And other than cecal pellets, which actually there's one right there. That's a little wet cecal pellet. Hello. Most rabbit poop isn't really gross to pick up. Do I intend to show my rabbits ever? I talked a little bit about this before, but I did show previously. It just wasn't for me, so I don't do that anymore. What advice would I give a beginner as far as taking care of a rabbit? Definitely educate yourself about GI stasis and the signs of it. If you, oh, well, that one succeeded. You did it. If your rabbit ever is hunched in the corner, doesn't come to greet you like normal, isn't peeing, pooping, drinking, eating, that definitely sounds like GI stasis. It's not always the case, but I would meet with a vet and have a contingency plan for if that should happen. It always seems to happen like on weekends when there isn't a vet. And I do have a video about GI stasis for rabbits. That's a good one to watch. If that ever happens in my rabbits, I start off with Sherwood's SARX Rescue. It's like a bunny Gatorade powder mix. And I wouldn't ever force feed food unless you know that your rabbit does not have a blockage. So educating yourself about GI stasis, having a good healthy food for your rabbit. I feed Sherwood. The only other food I have found that I recommend is, well, there's a couple. There is Oxbow makes a Garden Select that doesn't have any soy. Soy can be very problematic, difficult for the bunnies to digest. So I recommend that. Or there is an organic one. That one just tried to jump again. Modesto Mills makes an organic rabbit food. It's okay. I still like Sherwood better. So good food, plenty of hay. That one is, oops. I'm gonna go grab that. My husband's gonna go find that one. So good food and hay and educating yourself about GI stasis and just a slow introduction, especially if you have dogs. I advise keeping your rabbit in a different area as your dog, giving your new rabbit a place to hide, and then like I mentioned before, just sitting in the same room as your rabbit. And don't force interactions. Yeah, is that one your favorite?
One of them.
Okay, any other questions? I've almost been live for an hour. I can't believe it. Okay, we're going to wrap this up soon. If they stop eating and drinking, they basically have 24 hours left. I think it's different for every bunny, but you definitely want to get your rabbit hydrated. And like I said, if you don't know if there's a blockage, don't force feed like a powdered food. You can give them syringes of water. Some people say raw pineapple juice because it has enzymes in it that can help with digestion. But I use the Sherwood SARX Rescue. And again, look for my video on GI stasis, and I show you all about what I do. Yes, I fed my rabbits strawberries, blueberries. I haven't fed watermelon. I would double check that. You can Google for rabbit safe foods. I would imagine that one's probably okay, but I don't know for sure. Okay, this bunny. This one's funny. A funny bunny. There's always one that escapes, at least. Microchipping Pet Rabbits. I've never heard of, I guess they do that for dogs and cats. I wouldn't think that's something you really need if you have a house rabbit, but if your rabbit stays outside and there's a risk of it getting loose, then that might be something you want to look into. Is it dangerous to have a cat and a bunny? It can be. The gray cat, we have a gray cat, a young male, and I had to put him away in the upstairs bathroom for this video because I don't trust him. But our other cat is older, and she's very good. Paisley, you may have seen her in my videos before. She's really good with rabbits. So it really depends on your cat's personality, and you definitely want to be very vigilant about supervising. Hello, kippers. How many times should you take your rabbit to the vet? Your rabbit really doesn't need any vaccinations unless there is an illness. You really need to take your rabbit to the vet if you want to get it spayed or neutered, or if you have an illness that you need to take care of. But like I said, it's a good idea to, that one's escaping too, to have a vet, a rabbit savvy vet available for emergencies. Emergency vets, like the 24-hour vets, they don't always know a whole lot about rabbits. I'm gonna go get Tater. Let's get you. What are you doing? What are you doing? And sorry, I only have one hand. I normally don't pick rabbits up with only one hand. It's best, and that's another thing, when you pick up your rabbit, a lot of people don't know how to do it when they first get a rabbit. And let me see if I can show you. I have to put the camera down. You always want to put one hand underneath the bottom. Okay, let me see. Put the camera down. Okay, we'll show you a Tater. Oh, it's okay, Tater. All right, can you see me? So I put one hand under the bottom. I brace it with my forearm, and then I bring it to me, and I can't show you right now because I can't move the camera. But the best way is to hold it like a football and put your rabbit's head like underneath your armpit, because as a prey animal, they do get stressed when they are not on the ground. So it's best that they can't see how high they are. If you put their head gently under your armpit, they can't see. All right, let's go find the other bunny. Oh, hey. Hey, I found the giant ball. Hey, what are you doing? Look at the ears. Oh my goodness. And cords. See, that would not be safe. If you were older, I couldn't leave those cords out. Okay, this one's just so cute. What is it about blue bunnies? Am I the only one who thinks blue bunnies are extremely adorable? Okay. You love my snuggle mats. Oh, thank you, Amber. Yeah, most of my rabbits do really like the fleece mats. Not so much in the summer, but most of them will nap on there. Okay. A rabies vaccination. You know, my rabbits are not vaccinated for rabies. I really have not heard of that here in the US. That would be a good question for your vet. Can you keep one neutered male with 2 spayed females together as pets? Again, yes and no. It really depends on your rabbit's personalities. Some people have no problems with bonding rabbits. Other rabbits are very resistant to it. So you just have to be prepared if you get a rabbit, get 2 rabbits, get 3 rabbits, that they might need separated. And I do have a blog article about tips for bonding rabbits, but be patient. Sometimes it works awesomely, and sometimes it doesn't. All right, guys, I think we are going to end this right now. This is over an hour already, so, oh, sorry about the truck. There goes my husband to work. Most of these guys are ready for a nap, I think, especially this guy. They're so cute. Hello, little broken chinchilla. And this little blue guy keeps following me around. So cute. Oh. I'm sure you guys have better things to do than watch bunnies all day. Maybe? Maybe not. I guess it is pretty cute, huh? It's like a fish tank, but with bunnies. Like fish tank, but with bunnies. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining. Sorry about that. If you have questions, I guess you can post them below and I can try to get to them later. I don't know how this live video works, but I think I can leave the live video posted to my account, can't I? And, oh, what's in that tank? Oh, somebody's asking what's in the tank. Yeah, that's my bed. I have a, oh, here he is. That's Nemo. I have quite a few bettas. That's probably my favorite tank. It's a giant bowl. I've got several bettas. There's another one in there. So, am I selling these bunnies? Most of them will, yes. But I do have a waiting list. Binkies. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I am going to close out the video. Everybody have a great Memorial Day. Bye.